And boom, we are live.
All right.
Hello,
Why,
welcome.
hello there. Hello, hello,
Look at I have a co-host
hello.
again.
Hi, I'm back, everybody. Sorry about that last
There was some
week.
fun behind the scenes things that had completely innocent vibes going on. So I'm doing a charity event, Extra Life. Play games, heal kids, children's hospitals involved, money goes straight to them. He thought it was last weekend. Nope, it's
Yes.
this weekend. So he scheduled himself to work, and we couldn't be here on Friday, so it was me and Vaughn and Squid Boy. So,
Yes, for episode 8, that amazing Halloween episode. Even
oh,
after I
whoops,
worked.
I mistitled this one.
You better fix it right now. Oh, let Twitter know that we're live. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
that's basically what happened. I misunderstood Zach and worked the week that he could uh go live on Friday.
You
And so
know,
he luckily we had guests, and
yeah,
those guests were amazing. Thank
yes,
you
they
so
were.
much to those lovely people. And I'm back. So
I
hi.
don't want to hurt you, but I did end up talking to Vaughn for like a good half hour afterwards, just like vibing out, talking about Legion of
How would
Boom
that hurt
podcast
me?
because you
How
didn't
would
get
that
to be
hurt
part
me?
of it. I don't want you to be sad and left
No, of
out.
course
I
not.
felt guilty.
You guys could talk all you want, like on and off the stream. You guys can do whatever you want. I totally don't mind. And next time, I'll definitely talk with you guys when we get the chance. But
So
yeah,
yeah,
so we are very excited to talk about today's topic. We have a few things to mention, and they are a little different from each other. But before we get into all of that, I do want to show the video viewers something very special, and I want Zach to go first because he's very excited about it.
yeah. You know I have that, like duh. But do you
Right,
know
right,
about
right. That's
this
what we
little
know.
baby right here? Is that an original ID core made by
He
Desert Fair?
got
Sponsored?
yes,
Oh
not
my
sponsored,
gosh.
but yes.
Crocodile rider that apparently showed up for like 3 seconds in like the first or second episode, and he's like, got it, and made a core out of it. So absolutely. And here we go.
Wow,
Entry. Entry. Ah, wait a minute.
dude.
I know that this wouldn't be my OC's like stuff to use, but this the boost and or Magnum look decent with it. Hold on a second.
Oh, of course.
Eh, I just want to hear the driver. Honestly, at this point. Uh,
Yes.
it looks so good, especially the blue when it goes to that bluish color. Ooh.
Yeah. It
Oh,
looks incredible. I love
oh,
the color too. The color, like,
yeah.
I saw a photo of it like on Desert Fair's Twitter, and I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
that's Zach's Rider Core. But on camera, it looks like very like it
Well,
looks
he
a
actually
lot more saturated. So
yeah,
showing
he made it. He made one copy of it, and then didn't realize that I had messaged him when I said what color that I wanted neon blue, and he ended up sending an image of a paint he was using that was a neon blue that he could use. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. And
oh
he's like, I was like, do you have time to get this out? He goes, yep, I haven't even got my shit boxes out yet, so no
oh
problem.
shit. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you got the correct color. You're
Yeah.
not the only one that has one though, because
Oh
I
shit.
also ordered from Desert Fair, and I didn't get anything
Absolutely.
original. I just got Tycoon's ID
Well,
core,
probably about the
which
only way you can do it.
right because
Unless you're gonna
Toy.
buy
I
random
guess they
login.
have. I guess because that's what it seems like they're waiting for to release the Rider Core with. Like I don't know why they didn't release it with Ninja.
What
It
I'm
looks
assuming is that we
very
might get
well
it
with
with
Ninja.
the
Very
upgrade
good.
stuff they've leaked. If you don't know about the leaks, spoilers, turn away from the stream now. But there's supposed
How
to
do
be
we
some
log
kind
off
of
the stream?
Commander and Tycoon Command buckles, so maybe they'll get it with that. Maybe that's when it'll come out. It's goofy for them to
Mm.
wait that long, but whatever. I guess so.
Well, we have people like Desert Fair for us to help us out while we wait.
Yes. Shout
And
out
as of right
Desert
now,
Fair. Absolutely. Awesome, awesome,
yes,
awesome, awesome.
it's 3D printed. Like it's really good. It's
Mm-hmm.
nice and saturated. You can put it in the driver. Mine's not on, but you can put it in the driver and it'll fit perfectly,
Yep.
just like the real
Yep.
ones. And you could just have a lot of fun, because you could do what I did
Do you want
before
to
I.
tell them about your
What's up?
confusion of what the animal is?
No, no, no. I embarrass myself enough on Twitter. I don't want to embarrass myself on the podcast now, but since you brought it up, I guess I should tell them. So basically, okay, and look, like I know now. I know now. Listen. So, when Geats debuted and all the other characters debuted, when I saw Tycoon, I was like, "Oh, he's cool." But once the show started, I didn't know that he was going to be like the secondary rider, you know, basically.
Right, basically.
And we were basically following in Keiwa's footsteps throughout the first few episodes, basically like now as well. And so we get to see him a lot often.
Mm-hmm.
My brain, for some reason, never really processed what his animal was because obviously Geats is a fox, Buffa is a bull, or like, I don't know,
A buffalo.
a buffalo, and the Nago's obviously a cat. So, to me, in my brain, I thought that Tycoon was a frog.
And you know what? Like, it's not the most like out there.
It's
thing,
not the
it's
most
green,
craziest idea.
yeah.
Like, I'm not saying like it's a mantis when it's really a beetle.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying that I just got a little confused. But now looking back, we're gonna get into it. But looking back now, I don't know how I thought that. Especially when, if you look closely, well, obviously frogs don't have ears. One, Tycoon has ears, and two, you can kind of see like the nose of the raccoon that you brought up, or you know. So
when you get told that it is a raccoon, because I had that same thing when like they first were talking about, I'm like, oh, what is Tycoon? And I remember before they showed the image, they mentioned something somewhere, because I'm just addicted to all this stuff, of course, said Tanuki, which I know is a Japanese like folklore creature, basically,
right.
which is like a raccoon monster. And then it was taking like basically Tanuki and raccoon together, and that's what the portmanteau was of the two words smashed together. So I didn't fully know right away, and then I saw his face and his little red nose. I'm like, ha, raccoon.
He doesn't have a red nose, but he does have like a little bit of a nose. Yeah, you could tell. Wow, I can't believe it's taken me this long to realize that Tycoon is a raccoon, especially with like his name too. Like I wasn't even aware that like his name is part of the Tycoon thing. Tycoon, raccoon. Oh my god. Like I swear on my life for the longest time I'm like, "Oh yeah." For the longest time,
hold on.
I thought he was a frog.
Let's just real quick. Let's do English to Japanese, and let's see what frog is. Okay, let's help you out. Maybe it's hold on. Nope, frog is Keiru, Kaeru. So
Keiru. I mean, come on. Like if we have Kijino and Kiji brother, I feel like Toy would do some pun stuff with that. But whatever. I'm sorry. I was so confident too when I was talking about this on Twitter. I was like, oh, since my writer core does have a little bit of a mistake, the lines for the ears aren't there. On Twitter,
he's
I
already
said,
talked
like,
about it with Desert Fair, actually, but yeah.
Yeah, I said on Twitter, like, oh, but it kind of makes it unique because it looks kind of like a cat instead of a frog. And then that made me think, like, wait, cat ears on instead of a frog? Like something's not clicking. And mind you, I'm like literally in the subway. Like I'm just riding in a train, thinking about this. I'm like, wait, what is Tycoon? And then when when I first came up with Grasshopper, when you corrected me, that was because I searched it online, and the first result from like a wiki, which now they gotta like update that. They said, "Oh, he's a grasshopper." I'm like, "He's a grasshopper." I could kind of see.
Right, but I don't know
look. Like just like how I mistaken Tycoon for a frog, I can kind of see how you would get grasshopper because you know how like Tycoon has like those big round eyes.
Yeah.
Like every other rider in the.
And grasshoppers that normally have a little nose and.
Yeah. That the ears. Oh, it's so stupid, but I
going, wow, dude, where are those ears at?
What was your reaction to reading that I thought he was a frog?
I was just like, gosh dang it, this is why he's my co-host. It was whimsical. Like, at least it made sense. You had like a thought process. Some people just say dumb stuff. And we're going to get into dumb stuff that people say. we'll get into the topic
Great
now.
transition.
So,
Great transition.
so
Yes.
tonight's episode is, we try to keep the topics fairly connected, but this one's a little disjointed, kinda.
We wanted to put
Um,
it in today's video.
yes. So, the first part of it, as you see from the title here, is Battleizers, upgrades, Mecha. Oh my! Basically talking about our favorite upgrades and extra things that Ranger teams or Sentai teams get. Sometimes Sentai
Yes.
teams get things Ranger teams don't. Sometimes Ranger teams get things Sentai teams don't. Just kind of goes back and forth. I kind of feel like, to me personally, that once Battleizer became important in Power Rangers, that kind of inspired Sentai a little bit, because I think Deca Rangers, like Versus movie or whatever, ended up incorporating the SPD Battleizer into it. So that was when they started like, oh, we got like Shishi Red Orion and all the other ones that was like power ups for the red. So that's the first part of the topic. Then the second part is, just so you guys know, I just want to make sure this is clear. A lot of people might not know this. Kamen Rider Saber didn't kill your mom. It's not that
Did you
bad of
know?
a show. Did you know?
Surprisingly, right, guys? It wasn't Saber that killed your mom. That was the other writer, but not Saber.
You.
Now that's some story that's that's a story I feel like Dawn Brothers would like get into. Like, you thought this person killed your mom?
Nah, it was you.
Turns out, no, because you turned into the hits. I forgot their name. Hitsoki or what? Yeah. Sorry.
No, man.
God.
You know what I was thinking about the other day was the way that Zio Agito was pronouncing certain things. I was like, oh, I suppose I'm an idiot then.
What did he pronounce?
He was pronouncing Hitotsuki like a certain way instead of, I always say Hitotsuoki because I sound it out as I say it. He was saying Hitotsuki and a few other things, and I was like, that's probably
You're like,
that's just probably it. I'm not gonna say anything though. I'll just act like that's how I said it.
yo, I'm telling you, like, watching all of these shows, like, most of the things are named in Japanese. So
Yeah.
to me, sometimes I just want to say it. Like, if I can, I'll sometimes say it in the English name. But
Right.
other times, I'm like, all right, I hope I don't butcher this.
Similarly to, like, in certain parts of the world where, like, they have a specific language to that country, I think it means a lot more to, like, a native speaker that you're trying to say it the way that they would say it. You know, it's different if you're like Henshin instead of Henshin. Like, that'd be a little cringy if you went and said Henshin for some reason. But if you actually like Vaughn has that popularity in Japan where he took off with his Henshin videos. Like, he has fans in Japan that watch his videos because he does things the way he's supposed to. You know, says things the way he's supposed to. Anyway, so here we go. Battleizers, upgrades, Mecha, and stuff like that. There's so many to choose from. So many.
Wait. You mentioned Saber. You didn't get into why. You gotta plead your case.
Okay. So there was a fun little bit of a good time that happened on Toku Twitter, ye old Toku Twitter this week. A goofy goober, I don't even know what his name was because his account got blocked, which is funny. So it got suspended, which is really funny. But anyway, this guy started out just shitting on Saber, just unnecessarily, just butt cheeks open shit all over Saber. It was ridiculous. And believe me, when Saber came out, hear me out, all right? When Saber came out, wasn't the biggest fan. First, like 9 episodes, woo, lost me after that. Middle was great, end was decent. But it was never my favorite. But I'm not going to tell somebody that they, like, shouldn't be alive or that they have less of a brain because of it, right? Like, it's just all personal taste. By the way, we're watching Japanese children's 8 to 10-year-old shows.
So it's not that deep, guys.
Keep it in perspective. So he had this whole big giant tirade about blah, blah, blah. It's a stain on the franchise. It's garbage. All the characters are bad, blah, blah, blah. Then my man made the fucking carnal sin of trying to at all go sideways at Marco Satsu to take clips of Marco Satsu's history of video for Saber or whatever and try to act like, for one, Saber was still trash by what Marcos was saying, which is just taken out of context. And for two, also throwing shade at Marcos as if he didn't know what he's talking about. You know, Marco Satsu.
How are we going to use Marcos?
Informational series that's like 3 to 4 hours and 5-6 parts long sometimes on the season, like the Gaim one that I haven't even come close to finishing yet.
Those video essays.
Come on. What was beautiful about this, though, the apex of the story here, is that both Saber lovers and haters alike came together like the fucking Avengers overnight and just dunked on this dude with a billion tweets and quote tweets and retweets and everything, and just spammed him with like, this is garbage take, this is awful, I don't like the show, but I'm not going to go this far, blah 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 blah.
Take plus ratio
He
plus
essentially, yes, exactly, L plus ratio. But essentially, long story short, he got his account suspended. So, so yeah.
Wow. What a story.
You want to start with that part first? Just completely flip everything and just talk about that first, and then the other fun thing at the end. It's up to you. I don't really care.
Wait, what do you mean fun thing?
Do the fun one, like the fun topic thing, Battleizers upgrades Mecha, that first, or do you want to do the Saber stuff since we're already
talking about Saber? Let's just talk about Saber.
So
and get it over with, and then we'll go into the topic.
Like I just said a few seconds ago, I'll reiterate. When Saber came out, wasn't the biggest fan. Didn't dislike somebody because they didn't like it, but I wasn't the biggest fan. It bothered me in a lot of ways. Since it's been out, they've made some extra like additions to it that have made it better. Trio of Deep Sin, literally probably the absolute best V cinema I've ever seen in my entire life, and that's saying something because a lot of V cinemas are trash. V Cinex, whatever they're called, they're really garbage sometimes. I love Build. Oh, the V Cinex can really grind my gears.
They just kept rolling those out too, like so much.
No, that doesn't even touch X8, which is another thing to talk about later. It's another point of my episode. But that is great. Trio of Deep Sin, awesome. I love Dragonic Knight. To me, that's the one big thing I will say, other than the Shindai siblings incest weird goofiness thing there. Dragonic Knight was the most shafted fucking suit ever in form, and it bothers me because to me, what it looks like and the giant book that makes it and everything else feels like a more of a final form than what we got for a final form in that show. I love Dragonic Knight. It's a beautiful suit.
Dragonic Knight?
Oh my god, it's so good. And the like stupid dragon, that like little hand thing that can bite the book, like thank you. And like goofy books are like the gimmick in the season. I love that. There's lots of things to love about it.
It's a unique gimmick. It's a unique gimmick. Like I never thought that they would use books, and especially like
and they did it
stories.
And to me, I don't think they ever really forgot the fact that Tomo was an author. Like they kept that going all the way through, and I'll give them credit for that. I didn't love the ending myself, but Trio of Deep Sin made it way better, so I'm fine with how it ended, honestly. But yeah, so like at one point in my life, I was probably not exactly like that guy, being like an awful, like this is like a sin against humanity that it exists, you know. Right. But I was like pretty underwhelmed by it at first. Now that I've looked back and rewatched a few episodes, season videos, I kind of have a bigger appreciation for it. It is the only new season recently I never once bought a single DX toy for.
Yeah, and you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
Because, look, like, Saber, whether you like it or not, isn't the best season. Now, does that mean that it's god-awful? No. Like, it has a lot of great things about it, and I haven't personally watched the show, but I've obviously seen a lot of clips and stuff, and a lot of people talking about it, and from what I can see, it's a creative show. Like I said earlier, the books as the main gimmick is something very different, and sometimes when you do something different it may not always stick, but it definitely is cool to see what it would be like to have writers get weapons and new suits off of stories like Hansel and Gretel, you know,
or Three Little Pigs.
Right, like it's really like you would have never thought, but that's just the kind of creativity that you would get from these kinds of toku shows, and Saber took a stab at it and did what they had to do, and they did it pretty well. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Like, if you don't like Saber, that's okay. If you like Saber, that's okay. What's not okay is if you trash somebody's opinion on it for liking something, right?
Yeah,
because
like
at the end of the day...
person because of it.
Exactly. At the end of the day, if you like something, you don't have to make everyone else like it.
You don't have to prove it to anybody.
If you don't like something, you don't have to make somebody feel bad for liking it.
Also, don't have to keep watching it. If you don't like it, stop torturing yourself, because you're going to keep not liking it, most likely.
Right. Like, there's no one's forcing you to do something that you don't like, as far as these shows go, right? Like, if a season is airing, like, sure, like, you could wish something else was airing in return, but you know how long of a catalog of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai series that you could watch? Like, if you don't like a current season that's airing right now, like, for example, you could go back and watch other seasons and let that occupy you and buy those toys.
Other seasons.
Right, you know, like, there's enough for you to find whatever to, have you
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
content and satisfied. So that's what I want to have the viewers take away from this. I don't want someone to think that just because they like Saber that they're weird because everyone else says it's bad. No,
Yeah.
you can just like Saber and then just move on with your life. You can like our Operation Overdrive. You can like Samurai. No one's telling you that you can't.
Right.
People have opinions and people are allowed to share those opinions,
Yeah.
but you can't just make someone, like you can't force someone to
Well,
have
and
your
it's
opinion
unfortunately like a
either.
little side effect of people that just feel way too brave behind a keyboard. Because
Mm-hmm.
for goddamn sure, none of these little asshats in real life would say that shit to someone's face. The way that they talk to people, with the vitriol they throw at people, they wouldn't
No,
talk like that.
of course not.
They
No.
say it because they're safe in mama's basement while she's making them their third plate of pizza rolls. So,
Right. That's just the thing with Twitter.
mhm.
Like, a lot of people say a lot of things that they would never say in real life and would never say in front of a person.
Yeah,
Like, even like their family, friends, even the people that they're talking to, strangers, like they would never say that in person, but because they're hiding behind a screen, it's very easy.
yeah.
And that's why you got to be careful on what you say on the internet. With
Exactly.
what you say
There
on
are
the internet.
two important things I live my like social network life by. It's two things. We used to be just one, and then I got added to actually by a Marco Satsu video, and I'll get to that in a minute. So the first thing is an amazing, funny tweet from this guy who said, Twitter arguments are so garbage, I hate them. You can be like, I love waffles, and someone will be like, so you hate pancakes? Nah, that's a whole other conversation. What are you talking about?
Right, right.
And I
They take it
follow
out
that
of
up by
context.
exactly. I follow that up with Marco Satsu's one of his recent videos for one of his history of videos. He mentioned in it, I can't remember what he was talking about, but I think he was talking about a season that maybe some people didn't like, maybe it be Ghost or whatever. And he said, "People, you need to understand this right here. There is a perfect Toku season for everybody. That season
Mm-hmm.
that you don't like, that isn't your favorite, that really let you down, is someone else's golden child of the season."
Right.
Even someone like me, I love Rio Soldier. Other people hate Rio Soldier. I can even see that
Yeah.
there's issues in Rio Soldier. I still love it, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's perfect and must be worshipped. Like,
And
no,
if you
like,
don't, then you're literal scum of the earth. Like,
exactly.
seriously, it's not that
True.
deep.
Um, but but no, I live by that. I think that we get too caught up in like goofy, like almost like pissing contests of like, yeah, let's dunk on the so and so lovers. Hey, people like Ghost. Wow, they must be blah blah. Excuse me, but Ghost was my first season, and I really love Ghost. It's goofy, just as goofy as every other season, and also every Rider season has filler, weak parts, slow parts, and garbage in it. Every one of them, even
Yeah.
Gaiman Ryuki.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Yeah. No
people
season
act
is
like it
perfect.
doesn't. No,
Yeah. Nope.
close. There's
Not
some that are
one.
close. Some that are
There are
so
some that are
close.
close, but
What I've
not
seen of Black
not a
Sun,
single one.
very close.
That was close. Yeah. Like, even people who like the series, they could playfully say like, "Oh, but this is trash." Like that's not hating on the series. That's just
Yeah,
fooling around,
yeah.
playing
As
around.
long as people are aware that you're making a joke, like when Jin does his goofy like leak things that aren't like a real leak, and he totally trolls people. Come on, how are you now? Like seriously, not getting the point that there are certain things that are clearly verified, and other ones where he's screwing with people. Same thing, same logic. You should be able to easily, with a logical brain, tell if someone's kidding or not. And if you can't, get off the computer, go outside, touch some grass. Like,
Go touch grass, bro. Yeah, that's it. That's all we have to say, really.
that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
The saber in your hand is a pen to write it down. You know what I mean? So,
Perfect closing to that statement. Beautiful. All right, now let's get on to the real main topic of today's
absolutely.
video. So, I'm texting Zachary, guys, and I'm like, "What is our topic?"
I'm like,
And
uh,
yeah, neither of us knew because, truth be told, we actually were planning to have mystery guests this episode, but things
mm-hmm.
happened, so we're
Yeah,
rescheduling. Next week we do have a guest though, so looking forward to
cool.
that. So
We
anyway,
have one
I
set. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, it's totally fine. Yeah. Just talk over me. I'm kidding. So, yeah, I was thinking about how, you know, like form changes, they're awesome. I I cannot stress enough how beautiful it is for a character in a series to be beaten down so much just to have this glorious item given to them. Like, oh, I needed something like this. And then when
Yes.
they finally use it, it's a whole new suit that you've never heard about unless you've seen leaks. And it's awesome. The fight, the choreography, it's beautiful. It's like that for every single season. That is what Toei nails down all the time.
Yeah.
Earlier we said that each season isn't perfect. Fine, but I can tell you, most of the time, if there's a new form change, which happens a lot in more recent series,
When it's a power up form, and not necessarily always the like gimmicky. Hey, what's the next buckle? What's the next
no, I'm
progress?
talking about like new level, right? Like if we're
Yeah.
gonna use 01 for example, which I will get into a little bit more later, as when we're talking about favorite forms. 01 has a lot of progress keys, like the ice one, like the polar bear one, and like the flaming tiger.
Yeah.
Like those are gimmicky power ups that
Shark.
right, biting shark, flaming tiger, like those are gimmicky. They're not really meant to be like the whole new level of
The next
like,
level of power. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Same thing with Revice. You got like Mammoth and Pterodon, but later we get Volcano and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to get at is that this is all great, and this also reminded me about how Dino Fury has these suits, like you know the Resoldier suits, that'll now be original suits. And that got me thinking, like, let's talk about how Power Rangers and also Tokusatsu handles transferring of power. Mainly Power Rangers, because they've done it twice. And it's really noticeable with Zords.
Yeah.
Going back to MMPR. So, to go into that. MMPR, Season 1, had the normal Zoo Rangers suits, Mecha, 6th Ranger, and all that fun stuff. Around Season 2, because, you know, the show's doing so well, we gotta keep it up.
They ran out of footage.
So their idea, Saban's idea, was to continue to film with the Zoo Ranger suits, but to keep it fresh and new, not only switch out the 6th Ranger for a whole other series, you know, but they also used that series Mecha as well. Die Rangers. And it's interesting how you can merge two seasons with each other. And that's kind of what Cosmic Fury is doing as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
But sometimes with the way MMPR mainly handled it, it's like weird. Because how do we have the dinosaur suits, but we're like
Piloting
driving
dragons
and
minotaurs.
eagles and bears, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
strange.
and what's sad is that like because they didn't, you know, they lack the creativity, personally, in my opinion, to like change up the suits even a little bit. Cause like, no, we can't. That's our brand. You can a little bit.
You're
and
not
people
using
still
Sensei footage anymore.
So what
They're
the fuck does it
recording
matter?
their own footage.
I don't understand why it matters. So
I guess it matters because MMPR is recognizable from their suits. You know, you don't think of just
but
the characters. You think
I
of
think
the way
the kids are going to
looks.
be all right. See, I've always ran also by another rule in general with writing and coming up with ideas. Don't write down to kids. Write to kids. Kids are believe me, being a dad, kids are way the hell smarter than anybody gives them credit for. The kids would have easily, me as a kid, I would have easily grasped, oh, they don't have dinosaur robots anymore, so they changed the suits. Okay. And I would have went on with my day. I would have still watched the show every single day, and I wouldn't have cared about it. But now we kept the dinosaur suits, but didn't keep the dinosaur Zords, and we kept changing up. Now we're ninjas with dinosaur ranger suits and these new mecha, and it's like, but why though? Just use the suits. It's okay. Don't be scared.
Especially when they could still make the suits look similar to the dinosaur suits, yet they didn't. And I'm gonna shout out someone called, well, their name is Jordan Gibson, but their Instagram is called Gibson Agogo. Agogo. They made these amazing helmet concepts of what the MMPR team would have looked like if they represented the Zords they piloted. So, for example, Red Ranger piloted an ape. So, for video viewers, the ape helmet looks like this.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Ninjetti helmets. Yep.
Ninjetti helmets. We got yellow for bear.
Bear didn't even change the thing at all. Neither did Pink.
Right. Like notice how it's not like a completely different helmet. Like it still has the mouth, the color is still the same,
There's little barriers.
but the design itself is
Yeah.
different. Even with Pink, like Pink is the best example for this because it's so subtle, but
Mm-hmm.
it's great that they still made her fresh with
Yeah.
how the
Like
crane's
it's still a
beak
bird, but it's a
is
different
white.
bird.
Right, like that. The beak and eyes are literally the only things, I guess, besides like these lines over here, are
Yeah.
literally the only things that are
Yeah.
different about this photo.
Yep.
A helmet. And same thing with blue, with the wolf,
Mm-hmm.
and black with the frog. I like black the most
I
just
do.
because how like creative they got with making the frogs, making the frog
Oh, it's a frog.
look.
That's for sure a frog.
You see the ears, and then lastly, White Ranger, not Tiger Power, not White Ranger Tiger Power. We got the eagle, right?
Oh yeah, I like
Again, very
that.
very subtle, very
Hmm.
cool,
Yeah.
awesome, love it. And I'm glad that for Cosmic Fury they noticed this and they were like, yeah, let's update this. Now, did Cosmic Fury change the helmets that much? A little bit. Like they made it. I know they made the silver part more
Cosmic.
chrome. Oh, they made the silver part more chrome. I noticed that in the concept art. Again, I want to see these suits in person. Like I want to see photos of the
Yeah, I
real
want to go
suits. Like
there.
right, like I want to go in space and see them
Mookie,
in.
bring me to New Zealand. God.
Okay, show me. No, but yeah, and they also have like these lines on their yeah, like on their helmet. That's cool. But the real change of their suits is the bodysuit.
Missing
And
center in the chest. Sorry.
I feel like again,
Makes me
make the
sad.
suits different, but also keep them similar.
Yeah,
And I feel like for the
show an
Dino Fury suits,
evolution
the
of the design
biggest
concept.
right for the Dino Fury suits, and it's weird because they kept the helmets like basically the same, but the suits on the researchers team has like this huge lightning bolt. So
Mhm.
why not bring that to Cosmic Fury?
It's easy
They
branding. You don't even need to do like it's just already there. The lightning
and then
bolt, Power Rangers.
Power Rangers like big thing is like the lightning bolt, and then Resoldier has a lightning bolt. Why not like
It's just there. Just like
kind of
give it a gradient and make it look galaxy like or something.
You want to know what have been sorry, what would have been cool? Jesus, I can't talk. If
It's
they
okay.
made the lightning bolt gold, like the normal
That would have been
Resoldier
fine. It would have been
lightning
something
bolt, but
different,
just
or layer it with their color. Like gold and red, gold and blue,
oh
gold and pink, gold and green. What let's go.
hello
I guess Ion would get a little screwed on that, but it's fine.
the blue, like
Sure.
golden blue, something like that, right? Now this isn't to say that we don't appreciate the Cosmic Fury suits because from the concept art at least they look great.
Yeah.
There are some things that we wish was a little different, but that doesn't mean that we wouldn't
I can get
take
used to them.
what they have.
I'm not gonna like lose sleep over it. I always
Is your
have
eye
Rhea Soldier
twitching,
and
Zach?
Dino Fury. Like that's the one thing that I always say too is like people are like, oh, but with this new thing, but shh, your other thing it came from still exists. Stop crying. Like the source
Right, like-
material is not going anywhere. Why do you care?
Right, like you'll be fine. Sit down, touch
Oh, I
grass.
guess I'll
and then
just
come
have to
back.
go watch Rhea Soldier again for the 5th time. Like,
And honestly, and what?
darn.
Because Reed Soldier is a great series, and any series that you like to watch, there's nothing wrong with watching it again. A lot of people do that all the time. You know how many
Yeah.
people have
Comfort
watched
show.
Friends like over 9 times? 9 times is like the least, by the way. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's
It's tougher when you get to Sentai and Rider because they
Yeah, they don't
do
really-
it with characters. Like if you watch I'm more looking at more like early Showa. I don't know if you watched a lot of Showa personally, Frankie, but when you watch Ichigo and then you watch V3 right afterwards, Ichigo and Nigo are literal central characters in V3, right? Like they're there, they're part of the story. Tachibana's there, like they're doing their thing. So for the most part, because of how Rider is set up and that it's not a sequential little series, neither is really Super Sentai, you don't get a ton of that. You do, however, we were just talking about this before the stream or earlier in the stream, whatever, get things where Sentai takes a bit of a take from Power Rangers and uses it in what they do. Case in point, Deca Rangers, I think, versus movie 10 years after, whatever it was, had the Battleizer from SPD. That wasn't a thing in Japan. Battleizers, completely American thing. It's super cool. I love Battleizers. Please make a Lightning collection of the Battleizer Rangers. It's so easy.
I'm telling you. It's probably gonna happen, but we don't know when. We don't know when.
So, that influenced Japan, right? So Japan brought it in, and then from there, you started to see here and there them do shades of that. You had things like Shishi Red Orion, which is a complete power-up form, change power level, like you were saying, for
Shishi Red.
For Lucky, for Shishi Red. You have the Max Ryuso Red for Ryo Soldier. You know, you have different little seasons that have a little bit extra. You have in Zyuohger, he had like 3 different ones. He had the gorilla, he had the
Eagle.
whale. Oh my god,
the whale, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then the gorilla whale guy.
Mm-hmm. We'll put them all together because
why not? Yeah, we have this many.
So yeah, Sentai Rider kind of pull away from that a little bit in that happening, but they still have really beautiful forms, and you can see.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, as much as people want to try and keep Sentai and Power Rangers separate, and even Rider even more separate, it doesn't matter. They're still going to see what each other is doing successfully and use it. Like they're not. Right. They're not going to.
Because they're using this. Like they're in the same family, you know. So it's almost like if you're copying your siblings' homework. It's like, oh, I like that. Let me try that over here. And then the people that it's benefiting the most is the viewers.
Exactly.
Because not only is it consistent like throughout like every season, not season, like franchise, like Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Power Rangers, but it's also just fulfilling to see all of these suits that are so unique. You know how hard it is, like if you go back to that Stick episode, making the costumes, cosplays, that's expensive. It takes time, and most of all, it takes creativity. Like, do you know how difficult it is to create an original character? I know you know that, Zach, because you've made some.
Yeah.
Like, it takes a lot of time to, like, figure out what makes this character special. What is their colors? How are these colors, like, connected to their personality? You know, like, little things like that you wouldn't really even, like, think about at face value. You know, that takes a lot of work, and to have these suits like one after another, especially not even just for toy sales, but just for the show and like the story, it's amazing. And that's why I love Tokusatsu and Power Rangers so much, because effort.
They just don't stop. They just keep coming out. It's just banger, 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 and they don't like one gets done. Oh, sorry, fuck you. Here's another one coming out.
Going back to Saber, sure, Saber's story may not have been the strongest, but the suits, you can't lie. Those suits are the most complicated yet beautiful suits that I've seen in all of Reiwa.
Also, I want to give a really good, yet true. I want to give a lot of extra brownie points too with Saber, that a majority of the drivers are not even traditional drivers. Like when you think of a driver, you think of like, I got my little square here, boom, put it on my waist, blah blah blah. Kind of the Seiken sword driver, but everything past Toma and Rintaro are
swords,
random weapons. Like,
here's
my Naginata, here's my whatever it is, like this giant ass weapon. I'm going to put a book in somehow, and it's going to work. And they make it work, and all of them are badass. The characters might be awful, like both of the Shindai siblings, but in general, the transformation devices are so cool. That's the creativity in it. That's always just like, that's what draws me to it, honestly. Like the stories, yes, but it's like I want to see the cool thing they're going to use in this. I want what we're going to do. How's it open? What's it going to do? What color is it? How many batteries does it take?
The design as well, like all of that is so cool to look at. And something else that is really cool is when a whole team gets a power up. Specifically in Sentai, because, you know, Kamen Rider, I mean, besides the main 3 or 4, the other members, like in Saber, we keep going back to Saber, like in Saber, like the twins, are they, I know they're siblings, but are they twins?
Siblings, I don't think
they're probably not twins. You don't give them much thought. Try not to.
Nope.
I don't blame you. It's a little weird how she talks about him. But anyway, they don't get like power-ups. Like they're just in their base form for the whole series, because this is mainly because they debut a little later in the series, and it's like, you know,
and you do get a little bit of like stiltedness with that, where like they'll have a debut, like her brother, right? So he comes in and he's like, you know, ocean, whatever it was, and he's like controlling time and shit. And then like 5 episodes later, he's getting his ass handed to him. And it's like, what was the point?
Like, where's the power level?
Waste my time with that, literally.
Right. But yeah, when teams get power ups though, that is juicy, and I love it when Sentai does it. The biggest example I can think of right now is Kira Major. Kira Major looks
Purple
great
arrow.
with Kira
Mhm.
the Kira arrow and the Kira well, I was gonna say Phoenix, but that's the mech.
The
The
armor.
Kira armor is so
Yeah.
cute. Now,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: like when Kira Major was airing, I had like a theory about like what the suit would be for Kira May Red. I
Hmm.
thought it was just gonna be like a power up that Kira May Red can use, and I thought it was gonna be like a crystal diamond. You know, because like okay, think about Gold Damo Motero. He's gold. Oh
Yeah. Super
wow! You
shiny.
know,
Look at them even more. Yeah. Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Max Reeves Soul Red. Yeah, he's amazing and has like all this like hot rod red, but he also has gold.
Yeah.
You know, so like gold is like a constant pattern with like these
Oh,
Battleizers, power ups.
yeah.
Um, but I really wanted him to be like a crystal
Yeah.
blue. Like that
Yeah.
would have been so cool to
Yeah.
see, in my opinion.
I did like the Karamega armor. I think that it was a little stupid to me that they waited until the stage show to give it to my boy Takamichi, to give it to the
Yeah,
sixth. That was a little silly. And I like the armor, but when you stare at it for too long, Frankie, it looks like laser tag armor. And then you
it
get sad.
does.
I
It
like it.
does.
Believe me, I do. But I want it to be more. I was expecting it because like it seemed like it was going to be connected to like the royalty with like Oregon and everything. So it's going to be this like regal.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, to me when they were given the details of it, it made me think of the Mystic whatever it is mode in Mystic Force, Mystic Master.
Oh, I know what you
Yeah,
mean, and that too. I love that too. I love that too.
that's one of
Yeah,
my favorite
like
parts. Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, they could have at least given them like I don't know, like gauntlets or like something on their boots, but it
Yeah.
was literally just the chest plate.
Yeah.
But
Which was
look, think
fine.
about it.
Like totally
Sometimes,
cool,
sometimes less is more,
honestly.
and when you get constant seasons where the team, like if they do get a power up together, like or if one person gets a power up, it's like so big and bulky and beautiful. Like, yeah, that's great. But what is unique about Cure Major is how they did it a little differently, you know? And then right afterwards we get Zenkaiser where it's only, you know, the sixth and Zenkaiser. The sixth. Two Kaiser and Zenkaiser.
Yeah, he's not really the sixth. When you think about it, he's not even on the
He's
team.
not even really the team. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. No, Two Kaiser, which is like the. I forgot what
The
like
Super
you
Two
would call
Kaiser. Yeah.
him. No, I was saying like how Tsukaiser isn't related to like the Zenkaisers themselves. The
Oh, he'd
lone,
be considered an extra ranger, I would assume, because he's not really the six. He keeps denying it every time they try to ask him. He's like, no.
yeah, no, and that's perfectly fine. I actually find that pretty funny. I was just trying to look for a name, whatever. Anyway, yeah, Tsukaiser and Zenkaiser with their super forms is actually really cool. It's
Yeah.
okay that the Kikanoids didn't really get a power up because how would you really
I
do
mean,
that?
I
They
don't know.
look
You
so
could.
different.
There's ways that, like, if you take it from your design thing of the guy you showed for the Ninjetti helmets, like that,
Yeah.
you would just extrapolate from there. You could take with Zoo Ranger, you could have given Jiran some armor from, Burai from the six from Green from Dragon Ranger and put that onto him.
Mm,
A lot of what you could give them for power ups could have just come from the Mecha from their seasons, and them have smaller, versions of it because they're human
that's
sized
actually a
Mecha.
really good idea. Now, see, now I want. Now I wish Zenkaiser did that.
Yeah,
Oh well.
yeah,
Oh well.
yeah.
Um. Yeah. Going back to that Mystic Force reference. Yeah.
Their
That is
stupid
actually
rotary ass phone fucking staff. I love it.
again.
It's so
It's
silly.
weird, but it's a good weird. Like it's not something you're
They be
used to.
beating ass with it. I can't say that they're
No,
not.
they'll beat your ass,
And that
hands
they did
down.
it. That's what I love the most is that they got it in a completely original, like 3 or 4 part like movie thing that they did for Mystic Force.
Mm-hmm.
That was the
Mm-hmm.
coolest thing ever. That's where they got that mode from. It
Mwah.
wasn't just like a 1 episode thing. Oh,
No,
blah,
no,
blah,
no, 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 no,
blah.
no, 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 no. They
No.
took their time with it, and that is what when a story builds up to something. Like I was gonna say with 01, when they build it up, debuting 02.
Oh, oh.
Oh, oh,
when you're the
like
first time watching 01, and spoilers.
spoiler for 01.
If you haven't watched it, I mean, God, it's stream it on
Do it
Tokusatsu.
now.
Buy it. It's physically available. Support Rider in the West.
Hello.
Anyway, so you're getting to that arc, and that arc, so that arc starts up and everything, and that episode starts up, and you just get you for some reason getting groundhogged into continuously seeing Aruto get murdered and everybody around him get murdered, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? It starts to anger you. It starts to piss you off.
It was like, really bad. It was the girls were scared. The girls were scared.
Oh my God. And then like finally you figure it out that he like was pushing her through the simulations of what was happening to create the final form. Like, yes, and it's a different final form because it's separate from 01. Like technically it's a separate rider from 01. It is the final form, but they mentioned that it's completely separate. And I love that. I love that. Love it. That's why to me
it's like a whole other like driver.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, technically it's like a unit, but like whatever.
Entire son of a bitch to put on, let me tell you. But anyway, so that's why I've always said to me that the original series and what comes with it in the Blu-ray, the Real X Time, that's where the series ends. We don't talk about anything past that.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. V Cinemas. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look over there. The writer cast is still here. Everyone's still alive. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's safe.
Shh. Don't worry. They're still here. They're still here.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like I said, yeah, no.
When they build up to it, it's a really, really rewarding feeling.
Just so many moments like that in both Rider Sentai and even Power Rangers when they get these forms. And I think to me, in more recent years, Power Rangers has like lost a bit of the chutzpah, if you will, like the spark to it, where it's like, wow, like I despise Megaforce and Super Megaforce, but I was irritated so much with Megaforce when there's one where he's, I think Troy is fighting, I think it's like Creepox or whatever, one of those goofy generals that has no development in it at all, character for a villain. Right. And he keeps getting like morphing and getting knocked out of transformation and then morphing again. I'm like, oh, he's going to get a Battleizer, right? Because that's what we do, right? Red Ranger's on his own getting his ass kicked and then he just gets strong and kicks ass. Nope. Happen. He gets nothing and just beats ass for no reason. Jacob, if you're watching this shit, don't you dare try to say that's why he's a good Red Ranger. It's not. It's not. We do not praise Megaforce in this house.
If you like Megaforce, it's okay.
There are certain exceptions to what we talked about with Saber. Megaforce and Super Megaforce are known to be
No, exactly. Because then you would be a hypocrite. Then you would be a hypocrite. You would be a hypocrite. People can like Megaforce. Hey! Now. Get back here. No, please. Oh, all right. Look. Yeah, I know what you mean with Power Rangers. They are a little lazy with it.
A little bit.
I feel like their storytelling with it could be a little stronger.
Yeah.
Excuse me, a little stronger, especially with like episode build up. Like, we can get build up in one episode, but then it feels rushed. Like we said, what makes Mystic Force's debut great is how they took their time with it. And they haven't done that recently.
No, and I appreciate how they did it with Dino Fury. I think they could have given it, like you said, another episode or two because like Zato gets real fucking mad real fucking quick about
we don't want your help.
You're what's his name now? Void Knight. You're trying
Tarek.
Buddy. Calm down. Ravcon is still a planet at this point in the story, so just weigh your your balances here, buddy. Calm it down. It's okay, Zato.
Right.
You're a little hot right now.
Now that we know so much about how like Dino Fury ends, to look back at earlier episodes and know why like certain characters are doing certain things, it makes you think like, oh, if only like they just said like, wait, why are we fighting? Why do you want this Morg so bad?
Sentai Rider, get back over here right now because
you need to listen to this too. You do this too.
Do the same shit. If it ain't somebody's lost ass daddy or evil ass daddy or murderous ass daddy or lost evil murderous space daddy, talking about you build, it's someone's other brother or something like that.
Right.
I love you, but you're not. Use therapy, man. Use your mouth and your words.
For how much they talk, you would think that they would communicate enough.
The belts talk.
You would think they would communicate enough how they should maybe handle the situation in a different way besides turning into a crime fighting epic big suit instead of just simply talking.
Right.
Maybe
I guess
figuring it
hotels
out.
would suffer, perhaps, but they'd figure out their
Maybe
problems.
Tarek would have gotten his wife a little sooner if he just simply told the Rangers that he just needed the sporks to power up his machine. I feel
Yeah.
like the Power Rangers would have found another way to do that, and then in that way, like, she wouldn't turn evil. Because the
Yeah.
real reason why she turned evil was because of the sporks.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's be real.
If the Power Rangers knew that that was
Mhm.
his goal in the end,
Yeah.
I mean, Tarek was like so blind, and like he was kind of evil a little bit too. Like he said it.
I do
But
think too. Another. Go ahead. Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
no, I'm just. Oh,
I hate being sick.
I'm so sorry. I'm just saying that, like, Tarek, you could have just hit someone up, be like, "Hey, do you have like an energy source laying around, powerful enough to
Ranger hotline.
start
Ayo,
a chamber?"
I got a question.
Like anything from Ravcon, you got anything in the back? She's like, oh, with her talent, she's like, oh,
With her talents.
let me see what I can do for you. And then, boom, she's back to life. And when they're together, like, oh, by the way, Pink,
Robot
are you our
running ass tail?
are you our daughter? Whoa, I am your daughter.
I was
Did
a
you know
thing
you're a
to
Ravconian? Oh
Like,
my
I
god, I
still love
am.
Dino Fury, but buddy, man, if you're gonna do this daughter thing, why didn't he ever talk about that shit till the end? He talked about his wife all the time. He ain't talking about his daughter and giving a shit.
He never mentioned once that he was Ravconian, which I feel like, again, communication, guys. If he told
Can you
Zato,
imagine
hey,
he
I'm
was-
from Ravcon,
Like, whoa, 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 back up, bro. I'm also Ravconi. He would have been like,
you know how big of a moment that would have been for Zato to realize that not only Ion and him are Ravconian, but Tarek is too. Like, they would have had like a brotherly relationship because shit,
Yeah.
they're the only beings, as far
Yeah.
as they knew, from their own planet. So
Yeah.
they would have like tried to help each other out, but
and that's why
of course,
it, to me, falls short as a debut from clearly what we get in Rio Soldier. Like, everyone knows who's seen Rio Soldier. You got to give credit where credit's due. That debut of that form and how it comes together
oh
on a completely
yes.
different level. Entirely. Just a completely different level. I don't mean to keep re-traumatizing people every time I talk about it.
No, traumatize them. No, I'm kidding. I'm just in awe from everything in that debut, even to the claw, the
The formation of it and everything. Oh yeah.
no.
Oh dude,
Man,
it took everything in me when I had my suit on at for Halloween at the party and everything at work to not like find something that looked like the warehouse and do like the scene where like the camera's to his back and he's holding like the claw.
Oh
and
my god!
it took
If we
everything
meet in
me.
person, we gotta travel somewhere. Be like, hey, can we film here for a bit, and then just record that.
1-800 warehouses.
I mean, warehouses are pretty common, and it doesn't have to be exactly like the location. So, yeah, we bucket list. Hello, write it down. We got so off topic. We are basically just trying to say that Battleizers are great when they have meaning. Something that Megaforce didn't do was give meaning to new cards or new forms. Like, they got like that whole like staff thing, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the hell they did to deserve it.
And then the
Yeah.
best line that's ever graced Power Rangers. Are you ready? Besides, oh honey, monsters aren't real. Is I hate that. I want a special just to show that lady getting just blown to bits, just smithereens.
God.
She irritates me so much. Why did they put her in the episode? Anyway, God damn it, Lightspeed Rescue. But so they get right Ultra Mode in freaking Megaforce, right? But then they get Super Megaforce. It's like, oh, we got our new mode here. It's called Super Mega Mode, right? Troy, I swear to Zordon and everyone else in the Morphin Grid says, no, we're not going to go Ultra. We're going Super Mega. That's less. That's less. That is less than Ultra.
Anyway, so going back to good suits and good series that yes, we love it. We cannot forget. Please, if you want a Rider Corps, an original Rider Corps, a custom, if you will, go to Desert and text him.
Yes.
Get that order. He is good. Okay?
Yeah, his direct messages are probably full of 1 billion people. He's also on Instagram as well.
Yes, Desert
and
Fair.
it is lickety split. He creates them and puts them out pretty quick, in my opinion. I don't know. I feel like it didn't take very long. Why did you feel like yours took a long time? Or what?
No, I'm sorry. It's just the way you said lickety split.
Bro, but it was like
No, I'm
I will
being
say,
so real. I did not expect it to arrive yesterday. Like I
right.
got home from a performance, right? Right. And I see on my table, I'm like, a package? And I knew that it was small enough to contain the rider core. I'm like, whoa! Like I didn't think it'd be
Yeah.
like
I
be
got a
so
message at work
fast.
today about it. He was like, I was like, hey, any, because I sent a message to Desiree. I was like, hey, any updated picture of like with the different color, right? Like the neon blue. And he's like, oh, you didn't get yours yet? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, oh, it should have already arrived. I'm like, what? And then I went to get it today. It's not damaged at all, but I'm so angry at United States Postal Service because it was in this like plastic bag, and inside of it was the package drenched for some reason, like completely wet and like falling apart. And a
Mm.
message on the front that's like, "We're really sorry about blah 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 your package. Please watch and make sure that you
Be
don't try to do
real!
a damn thing."
Be real! How are they like, oops?
Thank God it wasn't electronic because it would have been fucked if it
And they would have
was.
had to pay for it, or at the very least give you a
Ooh,
refund.
buy me a CSN, baby.
Imagine, oh, people, someone will be losing their
Trying to
life.
grift the US Postal Service to get a CSM.
Oh, devastating.
That's my next mission.
Devastating.
I'm got this. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah. So, I'm
Long
sorry.
story short, power
What?
forms are beautiful. Battleizers are beautiful. Mecha are beautiful. There are
And
sometimes
Saber is
original,
good.
and Saber is good. Saber is not bad. There are bad parts, but guess what? Bad parts in Revice. Bad parts in 01 doesn't exist in Geats. I don't know how that happens, but
Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yet.
yes.
We don't know yet. You
Every
know how
every
you know.
season.
Wait. Let me just say this real quick. You know how like in the middle of the series they give the main character like this power up that I'm sorry, just it was the Thunder Gale. At first, it was a little.
Gale, go! Sorry, I love that gimmick
The
sound
jingle's
for that.
great, but the Thunder Gale suit itself with the colors, it's very jarring. Like you just did not expect it to be those colors. And then what was it for Saber, like primitive dragon or it's like oh, okay. Yeah, that's great. And lastly for 01. Oh, Rising Assault Halper. Wasn't bad, but
Remember when they used it this many times?
what suit again? I can't remember because I never found it in the shop. You
You mean
know,
the University of Michigan suit? Like
I'm
that's all I remember it
sorry.
by.
I'm sorry.
Look
No,
at the
I mean
ULM
like
colors,
I'm.
bro.
What I'm trying to say is that like in every season, and I'm sure Geets is gonna have a moment like this too. There's just gonna be a suit where it's like, oh,
No,
okay,
I guess I'll watch
cool.
that.
Not every suit
I'm
is
gonna
gonna be a
watch my
banger,
iPhone with
unfortunately.
this. I don't have to look at it directly.
Damn. Inevitably, there's just gonna be that suit where it just doesn't hit as hard. Is it bad? No, but does it hit?
Depends on the person and their
It
taste.
it does depend on the person. You are absolutely right.
Yeah. I left in the chat. Not a lot of people joined this time, but that's okay. I left in the chat if you want to. And I can have him put Frankie put it into the description of this. A
Mhm.
link to my Extra Life page. You guys want to donate? It is a children's hospital called Helen DeVos Children's Hospital here in Michigan, where I live. And the proceeds, once you go to the website on my account, locked away. I can't touch them. As soon as the event is done on Saturday, November 5th, this Saturday, November 5th, 8 a.m. to the next day, 8 a.m., 24 hours straight. Money goes straight to the hospital, and they'll send us notifications even like, hey, your money went towards such and such. Like one year, they're like, it went towards a pizza party for the kids, or it went towards helping with these medical bills, or whatever. So it's a really good cause. It helps a lot of really great, hospitals that need the extra, funds and things like right now with how the economy is and how the hospitals are so like overbearingly full. It's a
Mhm.
better time than ever. And join up if you want to. Also, you can set your event for whenever you want it to be. Um,
It
yeah,
helps out kids too, right?
it does. It does. It really does. It can help for medical bills. It can help for the original idea for it was there was a young girl that lived in like the town. The guy that started at the foundation lived in his town, and she was like 8, 9 years old, something like that. She came down with a really rare form of leukemia. She was in the hospital by herself, whatever, like family too. But I mean, like pretty bored, but he was a gamer, and so him and his group of like gamers he was a part of online just flooded her with toys, snacks, candy, like video games, everything they could to like bring her spirits up, right? And she was so thankful. Well, she of course unfortunately succumbed to the disease, and in her honor, they created this foundation to play games to heal kids. So letting people choose their own Children's Miracle Network hospital near them. It's a network of children's hospital to donate money towards and help this cause. So, yeah.
Wow. I love it. I'm going to donate. I am. I'm going to donate. And guys, the holiday season's coming up. You know, make a kid's Christmas for years by
easier.
donating.
That much better.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. They're going through a lot. So,
and we're not the only team that's doing for that hospital. Like there's thousands and thousands and thousands of teams all over the country. So there's a bunch of them going towards that hospital. Don't be like, oh, well, that's just that team. They're going to raise $200, and what's that going to do? There's a bunch of teams that are playing for that hospital. So we're just one of many. So yeah,
give a gift, give a donation, do whatever you can, and support the cause. You know, because
or else I'll force you into the DGP. Sorry.
Congratulations, you're a Kamen Rider.
You must be.
And then you get absolutely obliterated. Anyway,
can we give a sneak peek of what we're doing with next episode? Possibly, if I'm able to be here, you might be doing it solo. Who knows?
Well, I won't reveal the guest just yet. I want that to be a surprise. But we will be talking. Let me get it. We will be talking about the creative mind behind special effects and craziest toku fight scenes.
Ooh.
So you better get your ass in here.
Right. We're getting Sakamoto.
I'm kidding if you can't.
We're getting Sakamoto himself.
It's for me. No. But the person who's coming in, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's absolutely incredible, and I can't wait for him to join us. But that is for next time. Now, I just want to let you guys know that we love you. Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching episode 9 of Henshins and Homies.
So sad that we're not going to be watching any of the stuff this weekend because of golf, by the way. The shows won't be on, so sorry about that.
Time of year.
Yep, or the secret final boss of golf is just...
I didn't even know that. Well, you know, it happens. I hope this video is enough to fill up that void. Please, if it works. Yeah, no, if you like this podcast, let us know because we enjoy recording it. If you want to see more, hop on our Twitter so you can get updates for when our next episode will be. And
we love to siphon. Get cool ideas from our fans.
Yeah, like you guys are awesome, you know, so giving us ideas will definitely help this podcast out. Also, if you want to be a guest, just shoot us a text and then we can see what works, what we can talk about, you know.
You got Toku Frankie there, right on there, Frankie Toku. He's on, like, it's just that way, both ways in his name there. Real Soul Rider Red / Hooked on Heroes on Twitter as well. Direct message both of us. You can direct message the the Henshins and Homies podcast official Twitter there as well.
So if you want to be a guest, just talk to us.
Yeah, or you got a topic even, you know, that's fine.
Yeah, and if you want to listen in, you can go on Google, Amazon, Spotify, and Apple. Oh my god. This I always try to forget.
With the video, then that's going to be every Thursday / Friday, somewhere around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay, look, we have a confession to make. It's mainly going to be Fridays, but as you can see today, I mean, at the time recording this, it's a Thursday. So we're doing this a little bit early, mainly because of the charity event that Zach is working on, but also our guest lives overseas, so we don't want them to be up at 2 a.m. talking to us, so we kind of moved it to Saturday next week. We're like, guys, come on. Saturday. Next episode is going to be on Saturday for those who care.
I'm hoping to be part of it. If not, I trust my wonderful co-host to handle it, just like I was somehow able to handle...
Yes, you were able to handle the last episode in my absence. Yes, you were able to handle that. I will... carry the podcast if you cannot, because I honestly want to air this episode. He's an amazing guy, and the topic that we're speaking about is going to be so much fun, you know? So
Yes.
hope you're there, but we'll see. Anyway, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching / listening, and we hope to see you around next time, guys.
Yeah,
Once again,
yeah.
please donate if you can. It'll be in the description of both the podcast and on YouTube. So take care.
Not making people
Get
feel
some
bad about how
rest.
they feel about tokusatsu. Don't do it. Don't stop. Stop. We're all having fun.
Yes.
We're having fun. with
Everyone
these
has
stupid
opinions.
Men, karate bugmen fighting monsters, and these spandex colorful suits, and these stupid like voices of entry and all that. It's just dumb fun. Stop thinking about it
It's
so
dumb
hard.
fun.
God.
Don't get it twisted. Don't
I'm
push
not my
your
dad voice. I apologize.
personal right, you got to be so close to the microphone. Don't
Listen.
put your opinions onto others if they don't agree with it. That's just the way it is.
Not without this.
All right. Take care, everyone. I hope you have a good day. Stay safe. Bye.
Heroes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.